Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Let's start off with the dollar. Yesterday I mentioned that we have a higher low. Went ahead and opened up and went all the way to resistance and stopped, but it did close on its high. It's a daily chart. And for the week, not much movement still. Still in a sideways pattern. But as you can see here, we have a higher low. So first stop of resistance, which is the previous low, is 95.30 or so. Looks like it wants to move forward up to that point. Making a higher low, continuing on. Tomorrow is Thursday. See if we can get to it might want to do a bearish retracement up to 96 or so. But on a daily, it's right now hitting resistance. And actually, I just refreshed the chart, so looks like it definitely wants to move forward. Higher low, got a piercing pattern, bullish engulfing, breaking as it opens tonight. It is opening higher. Here's our previous lows. So it has to break into that, and let's see if we could get to 95, which is these previous lows over here. So a little bounce in the dollar coming. Yep. So there you go. It's been in this sideways pattern for 3 weeks, waiting for it to fall apart, and it never did. So now it's recovered with this week's action, and it wants to go forward to the next previous low. See what happens. S&P continues. Hit a high here and backed off. But our lower highs are out of. Our lower highs are now support. So looks like it wants to move forward as well. That top wave was really heavy, splashing white water. It recovered, and now it wants to go higher. No rhyme or reason. No idea why. The Dow, same thing. Still wanting to go. Our lower highs are now support. It moved forward, did a bullish retracement, and there you go. Let's see where we could get stopped out. Got resistance at 18,232 and 83. And then finally, double top high at 18,354. Crude looks like doing its thing. Still in bullish mode after the bullish retracement on the weekly chart. Double bottom, went up, traced back to the support, broke back above our trend, and voila, broke previous highs. Where's it going to go? Looks like we're breaking in previous lows now. We've got maybe to 50. So there you go. Target is 50 on this. Gold. I mentioned earlier that maybe in the comment section, maybe this is going to make a push. Watch for 1260 break, which would be right outside of the trend. Looks like it almost did, and then kind of backed off a little bit. It's the 5-hour chart. Today we're still in. We want to stay 50. Want to stay above 50% of this candle. So right now we're opening it up, and watch out for a previous low break down, which is 1243. But that's I think that's our head fake on this pattern. So it went up, got stopped out, pulled back hard, and now we're opening up. Watch for a break at 1255 and of course 1260, and off to 1280. If we get stopped out there, could make for a triple top. So next time it gets to 1280, make sure that we go through it, because we don't want to have a triple top on the daily. Still in that pattern. Looks pretty good. It's very resilient. That right shoulder needs to complete this reverse head and shoulders pattern. So 1280 is the break. And off and running. Silver shot for the moon again. In the middle of the night, it tried to do it, but it climbed all day today, and we've got lower highs so far. Follow that 8 all the way up. Watch the price come down to 8 sooner or later and bounce like this stair step here. Stair step, stair step. That's 5-hour. There you go. Previous high break would be 1710. See if we can get above that. Stay above it tomorrow. If it continues, it should slice through 1726, which is the high. GDX, gold miners. Looks like we got a little problem here, as the chart shows we had a gap, back down to support gap, and then it closed below the previous low. And look for this to complete the gap, bouncing off of the 8. That's potential. Could just turn around anytime, as it could be bouncing off of this as support. This double top right here. This top and that top. But it definitely broke down inside the gap, so potentially it's going to fill the gap. If it continues, then we can see maybe potentially we want to stay above 2146, which is this double top here. Follow the 8 all the way up. If that 8 gets violated, closes below the 8, then you might want to start taking profits on all your mining stocks. I had a question about Hecla mining yesterday afternoon, and I relayed the message this morning. And what I said was, where is it? previous lows. It was breaking in the previous lows here. And I said, you know, once it starts doing that, breaking in the previous lows, look to take profits. And I believe he took my advice. And I mentioned in and around 4, and it just barely popped over to 4, and then it gave out. Which doesn't mean that it won't go above 4. It just needs to consolidate in and around 4 now. Let's see some sideways action. Maybe another pattern on the short terms, like a 60-minute. And maybe stay above 360. If it falls below 350, it'll fill the gap. Maybe bounce off this 34. But should it be healthy? It's not turning bearish at all. But definitely had a downturn after it popped into 4. You can see all morning it popped, ran into 4, and it backed off, and then it continued, changing momentum. 5-hour chart, stay above the 8, follow the 8, maybe buy into support. Make sure that you close above the 8 before you do that. But definitely when it goes into an even number, always consider taking profits, because that's where it's an emotional spot, and traders like to take profits at those points. And then once profit taking starts, then it kind of crumbles under the effect. But definitely my intuition was to sell into previous lows, which this previous low is also correlated with this double top here. So you got 3 points that it ran into. It ran into a brick wall. So maybe some consolidation, a bounce, maybe it hits the 4 one more time and then swings back, hits the 4 one more time. Third time's a charm, and maybe watch it go forward. But once it reaches this natural point of return, it usually takes a while for it to recover. So don't expect it just to. Here's the monthly. So I mean, it had a great run. Definitely changing trend. Look for somewhere to buy back in. I mean, you got support at 350. Definitely support at 350. So I don't think it'll go all the way back to 276. So look for a bounce around 350. Maybe consider taking a small position. Don't jump in all at once. It's very hard to catch a knife. You gotta smooth your way into it. I mentioned today that I sold my ASM. I sold it just a little bit too early, but like I said, I took my core out, so I think I sold it right around 42, and it ran to 150. But nonetheless, I still had free shares in there running to 150, so it's not that bad of a deal. What happened was, what convinced me to sell earlier was it ran early, and then it hit to 140 and it backed off. So then what I did was I put a limit order at like 142, and I thought, well, if it comes back and gets me, then I'm good. but I was way too early, obviously. Could have got 8 more points out of it, but I had a good 20 point run, so that's good. Starting to get in the swing of things here. So then I turned around and I noticed this Northern Dynasty Minerals. Not the biggest amount of volume or anything, or perfect stock, but what I was witnessing is it was running up in the morning. It ran all the way up in the morning to 42, and what I did was kind of waited, and it started to come back into. See, this is the breakout weekly chart. What I did was price broke 34, came back down, and then it bounced hard, broke previous high, ran, and so I was watching it. It ran to a point, and then it started the bullish retrace. So I tried to wait as long as I could without pulling the trigger, but came back to very close to the breakout point. So I'm in at 41. I think I'm at 41. So there you go. I'm in. My core is in NAK. See what happens. Alright guys, that's it. I hope you guys have any questions, comments, let me know. I'm glad to help. Remember again, please, because one of these days I'm going to be wrong, and I don't want you to be mad at me. But I'm definitely not a professional. I just 20 years of reading everything I could on trading stocks, technical analysis. I don't pay attention to fundamentals. Price action and volume is about it. Candles on a weekly chart, looking for reversals, looking for bounces, looking for price action over the 34, coming back down to support and taking that flat top break, either buying into support or taking the flat top break on these bullish, always bullish, high probability plays. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all your support. See ya.